Hey there everyone, today's video is going to be a Q&A video which is completely different from what I normally do, but on Instagram about 5 or 6 days ago I posted that I'm going to be doing one. So I got an overwhelming amount of questions, more than I expected, so this video is going to be in 2 parts. I'm going to film part 1 tonight, and tomorrow I'm going to film the second part, which will be up later, I guess. So I got quite a few questions. A lot of people asked 2 or more questions, which is perfectly fine, that's okay. I'm going to be answering them anyway. And I will place the Instagram name of whoever asked that question down here somewhere. So the first question is, what's your favourite smell? That's a really strange question. New clothing smell? I'm a sucker for vanilla. I like sandalwood as well. I don't know, it's kind of a weird question. Next is, what is my favourite movie? I can't exactly pick like a number 1, but I do have a top 10. Around the top 3 is The Craft, obviously, Practical Magic, and The Labyrinth. Next up, first of all, you're amazing. Thank you. Are you ever planning on visiting the United States, and if so, where would you visit first? I hope it's California. Sadly, probably not actually, or I don't know, because to fly to the United States from Australia, you've only got 2 choices. You've only got Los Angeles and New York. You can go anywhere from there, but they're the only 2 places that will fly in from an Australian international airport, I'm pretty sure. So it just all depends on what we want to do, because there are so many places I want to visit when I go to the US, which will probably, hopefully, be in the next few years. Do you have any totem animals? If so, what are they? I think she meant, if so, what are they? I'm not sure what a totem animal is, if that means like a spirit animal. If I was to chalk myself up to any kind of animal, I would probably say a wolf. Does that answer the question? I don't know really what totem animals are and how you find them out, so I'm just going to say I'm a wolf because I love wolves. Next up, what is my favourite memory? Your typical answer would be, oh, when I gave birth to my daughter, but in honesty, I really do not even remember that day because I was so exhausted. All I can remember is she was a big baby and I was in a lot of pain. So I can't say that's my favourite memory, because that'd be like saying, my favourite memory is having no recollection of what happened. Even though it may sound like kind of corny or cheesy or just really strange, it's probably sometime when I was a kid. We were going through a really, really bad time, money-wise, family-wise. My parents had split up. My mom wasn't doing well. She had also found out that she was going blind at that point in time. I think it was about 6. But myself, my sister, and my mom, we all shared this little twin bed. Because we couldn't afford any other beds, we all shared this little bed, and my mom would sing to me every night to like calm us, because we were staying in my granddad's house, and my granddad's house was an ex-World War II war hospital, and it was creepy as hell. So she would sing to us every night or play a little bit of Pantera or something like that. So I went to sleep to Pantera and a couple other things like that, but that's probably like my favourite memory, because it was something that I looked forward to in a really bad time. Next up, are you watching season 7 of RuPauls Drag Race? If so, which queens do you like the most out of them? I'm not watching season 7 of RuPauls Drag Race because it's not airing in Australia at the moment. I have to wait until it does air. I think it starts airing in a couple weeks, so I have no clue what's going on. I keep hearing snippets of little things. I know who's in the season, so out of the ones I already know who are in it, I'd have to say either Pearl or Katya. They're the only 2 I've really heard from outside of being on RuPaul's Drag Race. Also, I have another question. How often do you dye your hair? Does it dry out your hair after washing the dye out? If I haven't mentioned it before, this is not my natural hair. I am naturally like a mid-toned ashy blonde. So it grows in quite blonde, and if I let it grow out too much, I start to look like I'm bald all through my part. Because it's like the same color as my skin, my natural hair color. So I dye my hair every 4 to 6 weeks, and no, it doesn't dry out my hair because I don't dye my ends. I dyed them once when I went black, and that's it. I think they are a little bit faded, but it doesn't really dry out my hair because I dye only on my roots every single time I do a touch-up. But I think I will be doing a full dye when I get my yearly haircut in a few months. Next up, where do you buy your clothes, or your favorite place to buy clothes? I buy my clothes from a mishmash of different places, from like H&M, like your simple everyday kind of shops, right through to your specialty shops, like Tragic Beautiful and Berserk, 2 Australian businesses, great businesses. The Gothic Shop, very sweet owners of that store. That's a UK online store, but they do worldwide shipping. There's lots of different places that I buy from. It's just, do they have something I really like? Its price point, all that kind of stuff. What is your favorite shoe brand and what type of shoes? Well, it would probably be either New Rock or Demonia. Out of the two, probably more Demonia because there's more variety within that brand. But New Rock is definitely the quality brand. Demonia is great, except for the fact that some of the styles are absolute trash and break real easy. I used to be really into like Jeffrey Campbell and Unif. I stopped buying Unif shoes actually after the last pair of Hellraisers that I bought because I had them for less than a month and 6 or 7 of the studs fell out and they refused to send me some new ones. So, you know, I paid $180 for those things. And Jeffrey Campbell just hasn't had styles that I'm actually interested in lately. Who is your favorite band or musician to see live? Opeth is one of them, definitely, because I have seen them live, I think 4 times now. The people that are honestly the best, Heaven Shall Burn or Black Label Society. I saw both of them at Soundwave 2012 and they were freaking amazing. You know, Zakk Wylde from Black Label Society, he did the longest guitar solo, the longest and the most dedicated guitar solo that I've ever seen. It went for like over 10 minutes and people were like, oh my god, when's it going to end? But I stood there just going like, this guy's amazing. It's unexpected. No one expected this. And Heaven Shall Burn were absolutely fantastic. They didn't have a large crowd because they don't exactly have the biggest Australian fan base, even though they deserve like a huge fan base because they're pretty amazing. But they really worked it. They sounded the exact same, if not better, than their album, especially when they played Enzyte, which is my favorite song by them. It was just absolutely amazing. And Marcus Bishop, who is the lead singer of Heaven Shall Burn, he was a really nice guy. We actually ended up meeting him and he gave us the set list. And then I emailed him after Soundwave and just said, you guys were great. And he personally emailed me back and thanked me. I thought that was really, really nice. So yes, out of all the concerts I've ever been to, Black Label Society and Heaven Shall Burn were the 2 best performances I've ever seen. Next, what are your favorite books, and the same for movies? My favorite books, if you're talking about a series, Harry Potter. I started reading the Harry Potter books when I was like 8 or 9. I remember actually going to the book releases of book 4 right through to the end, and I dressed up every single time, generally as Hermione, but one year I tried to dress up as Luna Lovegood and failed. Another book series that I highly recommend is Tomorrow When the War Began series. The movie was trash, but the book series is great. I think there's 7 or 8 books in the series, but they're really good books. But books that don't belong to a series, anything George Orwell and anything Edgar Allan Poe. How did you get so good at makeup? Practice. Lots and lots of practice. I started practicing particularly with like colors and different things when I was about 16. I think I was in my final year of high school actually. That's when I started experimenting with colors, because generally before that, all I would do was just put heaps of black eyeliner on, smudge it all out, make it look like I slept in my makeup a bit. Next question, also by the same person, is favorite everyday nude lip color. Well, personally, my everyday nude lip color is a little bit more grey. It is Lunatic Cosmetics Labs Coven Lip Cream. It's very grey compared to a normal nude. If I were to say actual proper nude, like a Your Lips but better color, I'd say Rose Pout by Illamasqua. Second last question that I'll answer in this video is, what shoes are on your wish list? There are a lot of shoes on my wish list. The ones that I can think of off the top of my head is New Rock Reactors, New Rock Knee-High Reactors, Demonia Torment 807s, Demonia Torment 704s, Demonia Dynamite 3, I think they are, the ones that look like the Demonia Keras but have the star cut out. I'm hopefully getting those soon. Also the Demonia Boxer, but there's 3 different ones that I like and I can't decide on one. I also want to find a pair of Demonia Choppers, but they're really hard to find in Australia. Last question of this video, which is part 1. If you had to choose New Rock or Demonia, what would it be? As I answered earlier, probably Demonia because they have more styles. So that is part 1 of this Q&A video. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I'd love to be here for every single video. Like this video if you like the Q&A. Comment down below if there's other questions that you would like to see me answer. Also, stick around for part 2. And I hope you all have a fantabulous day.